Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope all of you are safe. On behalf of St. Joseph Engineering College, Mangalore, and IEEE Mangalore subsection and IEEE Education Society Singapore chapter, I, Keith Raymond Fernandez, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, SJEC, uh, and IEEE Mangalore subsection Student Activity Committee's Chair, would like to welcome you all for this second webinar of our UN Sustainable Development Goal webinar series 2020. A warm welcome to Dr. Deepak Vaikar, Managing Partner for Edu Energy Singapore, Training Advisor for Taxtra Solutions Private Limited Singapore, and Vice Chair of IEEE Education Society Singapore chapter. Welcome to you, sir.
Thank you.
I would like to welcome our principal, Dr. Leo D'Souza, for this webinar. Been a constant pillar of support for all by us. Welcome to you, sir.
Thank you.
I would also like to welcome Dr. UC Niranjan, Director, Research and Training, Manipal.net, and the Chair of IEEE Mangalore subsection. He has messaged me saying that he will join in some time. And under his leadership, we have been able to conduct these webinars over the period of the past 6 months. We have conducted more than 20 webinar series. Welcome to you, sir. I also would like to welcome Ms. Ashwini Holla, who is the Women in Engineering Chair at IEEE Mangalore subsection. Welcome to you, Ashwini. And finally, I would like to welcome all the participants who have gathered for this webinar. Okay, I can see that Dr. Yusian has joined. I will just make him the panelist. Yeah. So we have our chair with us. He has joined. Welcome to you, sir. So I just want to give a brief introduction about what is this webinar series is all about. The UN Sustainable Development Goal Webinar Series 2020 is about the Sustainable Development Goals, which are the collection of 17 global goals designed to be a blueprint to achieve better and more sustainable future for all. The SDGs set in 2015 by United Nations General Assembly and intended to be achievable by the year 2030 as a part of UN Resolution 70/1, the 2030 agenda. Building on the principle of leaving no one behind, the new agenda emphasizes a holistic approach to achieving sustainable development for all. The goals and the targets are universal, meaning they would apply to all the countries around the world, not just to the poor countries. Reaching the goals require action on all fronts: government, business, civil society, and people everywhere. All have to play a major role in this. The Sustainable Development Goals are the blueprints to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. They addresses the global challenges we face, including those who are related to poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, peace, and justice. The 17 goals are all interconnected, and in order to leave no one behind, it is important that we achieve these goals at the end of 2030. So with this, a brief introduction to the UN Sustainable Development webinar series, I would like to request our principal, Dr. Leo D'Souza, to say a few words. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Keith. I'm very happy to be present during this great moment that we have Dr. Deepak Vaikar, addressing us on this important topic. It's a great moment for our institution because for a long time I have been observing now that Dr. Deepak Vaikar is a man who has achieved a lot and he has got great ideas. I remember during the recent conference of ICTI in January this year, that when we were, commuting between the conference venue and the hotel on the bus, we had a very deep conversation for more than an hour. And I was very impressed by his ideas about education and the issues which are important for faculty and students. From the background that he is the right person to guide us in this direction. And I hope all of us will have a great time today discussing this very important issue of sustainability and renewable energy. So I call upon all of the participants to take benefit of this. Have a great discussion. I'm sure Dr. Deepak Vaikar, I have also participated in meetings where he speaks with a lot of authority on every subject. I think you will be benefited by having a discussion with him. I'm happy that the IEEE Bangalore subsection is conducting this particular webinar, and I, congratulate the organizers for bringing this event together. And I acknowledge the presence of Dr. UC Niranjan at this program too. And we welcome all of you to this webinar. Have a good time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now, I also request our chair, Dr. UC Niranjan, to say a few words. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, everybody. I'm indeed extremely happy that St. Joseph Engineering College IEEE Student Branch and IEEE Mangalore subsection is organizing this webinar on sustainable technology. This is the second in series. The first in series also I attended. What really inspires and motivates all of us is that the speakers are all, practitioners of this sustainable technology. The first speaker was also so, and the second speaker is also so, because I've heard him in an earlier convention in Bangladesh in an online mode, where he talked about sustainable technology and educational activities, and then how do we make it accessible to everybody, and then how we make an egalitarian and just and inclusive society. So that should be the dream of all of us, especially the youngsters and the students. I'm extremely happy, and I welcome Dr. Deepak Vaikar to this webinar, and I thank Professor Keith Fernandez, who is our Student Activities Committee's chair, and Professor Ashwini Holla, who is our WIE chair, for bringing together this seminar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your inspiring words. So the second webinar of the series on sustainable, clean and renewable energy technology, innovations and practices in global arena. We have with us an eminent speaker, Dr. Deepak Vaikar, who will be delivering this webinar. I request Mr. Sharun Mendoza to introduce the speaker to the gathering. Over to you, Sharun.
Dr. Deepak L. Vaikar is a managing partner for Radio Energy Singapore, training advisor for Technostar Solution Private Limited Singapore, and vice chair of IEEE Education Society Singapore chapter. He has been involved in education, training, research, and management fields for almost 3 decades. He has authored and co-authored book chapters, research articles, and policy papers on power, energy management, and education-related topics. He has served on various committees of professional bodies, such as Chair of IEEE Power Engineering Chapter, Singapore. He is a recipient of IEEE Power Engineering Society Outstanding Power Engineers Award 2003 and the SP Green Buddy Award 2004. Dr. Vaikar has been member of Board of Examiners of Singapore Certified Energy Managers Program. He has delivered invited presentations on power, energy, education, management, and leadership related topics at the international conferences, seminars, and forums in North America, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, and Asia. Dr. Vaikar is a senior member of IEEE USA and life member of Institution of Engineers India. He completed PhD the National University of Singapore, MS in the University of Canada, PD Cert of University Teaching, University of Newcastle, Australia. Also obtained PGDBM, Nagpur University, MTech IIT Madras Hindu University, BE the Government Engineering College, Aurangabad in India, respectively. His interests include sustainable energy leadership development, reinventing, transforming education, smart model for talent development and leadership, innovative project design, management, and sustainable development.
Thank you, Sharun, for the warm introduction. Before we start, a few housekeeping rules. Your mics are muted by default. Please use the chat box for any queries and questions to the speaker. You can post the questions during the session and will be answered during the end at the Q&A session. Please send questions only to the host, not directly to the speaker, as it will be difficult to moderate. The slides by the speakers will be made available to the participants based on the speakers' discussion. The recording of the webinar will be available on SDEC YouTube channel in a week's duration of the time. The webinar is purely for gaining knowledge and self-improvement. In order to certify that you have understood, to carry out some kind of assessment, which is difficult at this moment. So hence, we are not going to issue any certificates. So please don't ask for it. Feedback links will be shared at the end of the Q&A session. Please fill it, and it will help us to improve our future webinars. So with this, I hand over the session to Dr. Deepak. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction. I'm still waiting for the share button to appear.
Yes.
So once that appears, I will. Yeah. Once that appears, now it has come. So I will share my slides. Can you see my slides now?
It's loading, sir.
Okay.
Can you minimize? Yeah, looks fine. You can start, sir.
Everything okay? Can you hear me?
Yes, clear. Fine.
Okay, done. Basically, no obstructions. So it is indeed my great pleasure to participate in your sustainable development activities. Professor Rio, Professor UC Niranjan, Professor Ashwini, and Professor Keith Fernandez, and my fellow IEEE members and students. Today I'm going to share with you whatever I got through my observation, research, study on sustainable, clean and renewable energy technology, innovations and practices in global arena. So I'm coming all the way from Singapore virtually to Bangalore campus. Okay, so I'm very happy to come to St. Joseph now virtually. And if you want later on connect with me, I'm giving my email address dlwiker@gmail.com, or you can contact Professor Keith. He is the one who has arranged everything for me. Okay, let us begin. This is just a disclaimer, statutory warning. Viewer discretion is advised. Should you make a decision on any of this one, you are most welcome to contact me. Okay. I am the one who is in everyone. Whosoever calls me mine, I am in that one. Why are you searching for me on moons and stars when I'm all the time there in the heart of the heart? This was the composition I made almost 10-15 years back. I did not know that this composition will be useful in this kind of webinars. I'm asking that question, who am I, okay? Who am I? Kaun hu main? Main hu kaun? Main Don nahi hu. Deepak Lakshman Rao Vaikar. Okay. Currently, I'm stationed in Singapore, but by heart, I'm still in India. Now I'm virtually in India. You might say, what is that composition has to do with this webinar? Wait for it till I finish and you will very much know about it. Agenda for today, introduction has been done. I will touch upon what is clean and green energy. What are the challenges and opportunities for us? And finally, today we will have summary and conclusions. All of you can hear with me. Are you with me? Okay. Yes, somebody can. Yes, okay. Just in between, I will be asking now. Okay, now as Professor Fernandez has mentioned, you have to put something in your chat box. Your first question today, okay? Kaun banega Urjapati? Okay, Urjapati. Let us khelte, huh? Let us play Kaun banega Urjapati. Are we at the crossroads? Okay, A, okay. B, nay. C, maybe. And D, do know. Okay, I know these are the terms used by the youngsters, and I just put them here. Give your answer in chat box. Doesn't matter, okay? You just make your choice and put your answer in chat box. A, B, C, or D, one of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do it fast. Okay, most of them are doing it now.
Some are maybe, some are A, Some are saying yes, yeah. Yeah, most of them are yeah.
Okay, great to know that. In fact, yes, are we at crossroads? Yeah. But if some of you are still wondering, as long as your answer is not B, then we can proceed. If your answer is B, then Professor Fernandez will have to arrange one more webinar, okay? We are at crossroads, stranded like this. Do you feel like that one? Stranded. Do you feel like this one? Confused. Are we in a confusion mode? Or are we merry-go-rounds, going around and round and round? And as long as you are in a beautiful campus like St. Joseph Engineering College campus, then it is okay. But if you are somewhere else, then there is a challenge. Or are we entangled, okay? We are doing so much of engineering and analysis that we still are not sure what is happening, okay? This is what is happening now. I'm not strangled, okay? Strangled possible, okay, but entangled, okay? However, we aspire to, as United Nations Sustainable Goals, we aspire to future opportunities, success, happiness, okay? Now, all of us want this one, I'm sure. But something happened. Just around the month of December, January, something happened. The outbreak of COVID-19 massively disrupted traditional system in unprecedented way. I don't have to mention it now, I think. They are calling it coronomics. That is what the impact on the economics. One of the goals of sustainable development is how we can reduce poverty. But I was told that now the level of poverty has increased globally because of one. Now, I wrote this composition several years back, but we'll talk about it later on. As for United Nations Sustainable Goal, we used to say, okay, we need to go for clean and green. We need to have a lot of things. And if you don't do that, 10, 15 years back, I used to say, if you don't do that, we may have to meet like this one in the center, okay, with a mass. Okay, Dr. Deepak Vaikar speaking in the conference here like this one. But I did not know that this could happen in 2020. Now we had to wear the mask, okay? Whenever we are outside in a group, something, we are forced to do that. That is the impact of this one. A question arises now, we are in this COVID-19. Would we like to go back to the same old normal after this one? Last 6 or 8 months, we have been asked to stay indoors, lockdown. Okay, many factories are not working. Do we want to go back? Recently, I think there was a news, Hyderabad had it. Okay, now this is very common in many places. This is also very common. Now Delhi is reporting this one. People are still burning their garbage. And our industry, power stations are polluting. So do we want to go back to the old normal like this one? That is a question we have to ask now. Our quest for palm oil, Indonesian haze. Now we in Singapore face this one almost every year. Not only Singapore, but because of the actions of some people in forest in Indonesia, it travels to Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines also. So again, question is, would we like to come back to the same old normal after this COVID? Now everything is standard. Do you want to come back to this old normal? Is it sustainable? Or imagine that now you are in such type of traffic. Mangalore may not be experiencing. I have been hearing about Mangalore is a clean green, but I'm talking about in general, whole of the world, global perspective. Imagine that you have to go for a very important interview and you are stuck somewhere here. What will be your feeling? Or somewhere here. What will be your feeling? Okay. If some of you want to come to Singapore and you want to go to airport and you are stuck over here, what will be your feeling? Or somewhere here. So do we want our cities like this? Are we calling this one the development, the growth, economic growth? Is it sustainable? That is the question. And now you must have been hearing that all of us want good lifestyle. I'm not against having good lifestyle. So I'm asking the question, is there a scope for hope considering our quest for modern luxurious lifestyle, geopolitical conflicts, rising population, and our addiction to oil, okay? And you know that something like this one, 7 billion people, Middle East crisis. But some of us want a luxurious lifestyle, this one. I know people will be saying, मेरे पास बंगला है, गाड़ी है, बैंक बैलेंस है, तुम्हारे पास क्या है? Hi. Yes, that is the question. Now, I know students who say, मेरे पास माँ है. Now, all this has been happening because of our energy consumption. Okay. Yes, some places we are now getting more and more renewable energy. But according to many associations, and recently even International Energy Agency has released the forecast about energy outlook, we will be still consuming more than 80% of our energy coming from fossil fuels. If we continue our business as usual lifestyle, the one I have just shown to you, oil, coal, natural gas will be dominating, even after 2030 and more. And they contribute almost 2/3 of global greenhouse gas emissions. Yes, renewables are coming, but they are in a very small percentage of the total energy consumption. Is it sustainable? Yes, some of you might think that I am talking about this प्याला भरा है आधा या आधा खाली. Is the glass half full or half empty? Maybe I'm saying, Professor Weicker, you are giving us pessimistic view. Well, I will say that whether glass is half full or half empty, it doesn't matter the glass. It matters when we take action. So it depends on the action, whether to face bankruptcy or enjoy prosperity. And if you are taking the action, I just shown you some of the slides, those kind of actions, if we are taking, we are going for bankruptcy. Bankruptcy of mental bankruptcy, or even environmental bankruptcy. That is not sustainable. But if you take actions, which some of the things now been mentioned at the introduction by chairs about sustainable goals, then we might enjoy prosperity. So debate between optimism and pessimism will continue. And one of the ways is to say, okay, yes, I have shown you some traffic jam and pollution. They say now, most of the cities, big cities are working on metros, okay? Electric trains, public electric transportation, okay? Even electric buses and trams, whether it is on the ground, over the ground, under the ground, whatever it is. Most of them are now investing in this one. So this is how they say, okay, now we will be reducing pollution in cities. Even electric vehicles have started coming in. Okay. Tesla is very, very bullish about it. Now, this electric vehicle, they are expecting that will reduce pollution in cities if it is used more and more. And I know there are certain countries who have pledged that by 2040, they want to stop selling diesel and petrol cars or vehicles. So that is the transition they are talking about. Now, till the time 2040, we are still going to use petrol and diesel vehicles. And hopefully, when this technology becomes affordable, we will be able to use it more and more. Then question arises, how we are going to supply electricity to that public electric transportation system. Metros we want it, subways we want it, electric trains we want it, electric vehicles we want it. And those who are in power system may be knowing it, that you need a thermal power station, power plant, which will generate electricity. And then we need also a transmission network and power substation, transformer, and distribution network till you get electricity to various places. The question arises, how we generate electricity. And the graph I have shown you, it is telling us that we are going to use more and more fossilized fuels. Then would you like to go back to the same old normals? Power stations. There is oil or gas or thermal power stations, they emit greenhouse gases, as well as if pollution is not controlled, it can give you very bad air also. Now, for your information, now also in India, China, and United States of America, 60% of electricity is generated using fossil fuels. Coal is dominant there. Coal is still dominant. 60 to 70% of electricity is produced using coal-fired power station or gas-fired power station or oil-fired power station. The question for us is very straightforward. Should we transport coal from coal mines to the power stations? Or should we transport electricity from the power station to the load? Very simple one. Okay? Which one is more sustainable? A or B? That is the question about sustainability. And now there is also possible to use clean coal technology and carbon capture and storage technologies to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and pollution. But it is expensive, and that is where you can do research in your college. This is one of those who are working in the mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, or is a multidisciplinary one of the very good project to take up. So I'm asking question, is there a scope for hope? Or am I talking pipe dream? Okay. That leads me to ask you a very simple question. What is your feeling about renewable energy? Do you feel nice about it? Good about it? Whatever it is, okay. Yes, you can put in chat box. Okay, whenever I ask question, you can put your answers in chat box. I know because we are doing remote one, I may not be able to see your reactions immediately, but through chat box, at least I will get some idea about it. Okay, your feeling. Is it good, not good, costly, expensive, whatever comes to your mind, just write it. And I had a fortune to share in one of the conferences my views with our former President, Honorable Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam ji. And at that time, during his tenure, he has given us vision for energy independence by 2030. And he has suggested that we should use more and more renewable energy technologies for generating electricity. Okay. Yes, our goal is there, 2030, energy independence. Let us hope we can achieve that. Now, when you look at the various studies, and I got this information from Shell Study 2050, industry perspective. Okay, earlier I gave you academic perspective, now industry perspective. What industries are saying? They say, based on this report, they have identified two important technologies. One is called renewable energy, and another is energy efficiency. For what purpose? For mitigating greenhouse gas emissions. And according to this Shell study, both of them have potential to be an eventual primary source of energy by 2050, 2050. However, yes, there are certain organizations who might feel that, well, that is possible provided we need to get everybody on the board, especially government has to provide substantial subsidies, and that has been happening. But if that is not done, then we'll be moving at a pace which is slower one. Okay, by 2050, I think all of you may be able to see it. I do not know about the others. Now, first thing, what they have mentioned, the World Energy Council, I had a fortune to again to serve as a committee, as a vice chair for almost 2 terms in Singapore, 20 years back. And the World Energy Council is the one which has given one statement on energy efficiency. What they say is one of the important steps in our quest for sustainability should be to achieve energy efficiency in entire energy supply chain. Not only in the homes and offices or some places, they say entire generation, transmission, distribution, utilization, whichever energy we choose. Electricity is definitely coal, yes. Oil, gas, or even renewable. We have first, they say first we should go for energy efficiency. What they have found is that energy efficiency can give you saving immediately. Energy saving. For example, one example of energy efficiency I will give you based on my observation. All of you know about this electric motor, which is widely used. This is a 3-phase or single-phase induction motor. Okay, you have got billions of them in the whole world. Billions of them. We see them everywhere. Most of the factories, you have got it. Whenever there is a pump, we find this motor is there. Whenever you got fan, it is there. So pumps and fans and other devices, lift, everything, you will find this device. And most of the time, if you use only standardized type of electric motor, efficiency is low. And if you consider the life cycle of this machine, they say it makes sense to go for energy efficiency. Energy efficient motors can reduce our worldwide billions of watts worldwide, okay? Not 1 or 2, billions of them. And same thing can we say about the lighting, okay? All of you know about lighting, LED lighting can help us reduce our energy consumption, again, billions of watts. They say billions of watts. And whatever devices, because this modern technology is also used in manufacturing, which uses also various types of electric motors. So simple one thing, energy efficiency. If you do it, it will give you money right into your own pocket right now. Now, that should be used first. That is what World Energy Council says it. That is what International Energy Association says it. That is International Energy Foundation also says it. And then we go for, because earlier what used to happen is 10, 15 years back, the solar energy was more expensive. And therefore it was not affordable to them. So what we used to say that first do your energy efficiency, reduce your load, and then part of it you can replace it, use that money to fund your solar energy projects. So you can generate funds. In addition, you can get some green funds to support it, or some incentives from the government. Now, there are two types of solar energies, which are, one is called the photovoltaic solar energy, and another is solar thermal. So now in this case, we are seeing a photovoltaic PV system, which could be a standalone. This has been preferred where you cannot go by a grid. We are not able to connect to grid. No electric grid available, use the standalone. Okay. Now, though the cost of PV arrays is going down, the cost of inverter, charger, controller is not going down. Battery also is not going down to that extent. So as a result, what happens if you're doing a research, you're doing any project, consider reducing, okay, cost of these two, because they're only doing it on PV arrays. But if you're able to do research and show them a better control at a lower cost and more efficiency, that is where you have got a research to do. When you connect to grid, then they say you don't need, so you save the cost of battery, because batteries are one of the component we need to replace every 5 years. So whether it is a grid connected or battery connected, you need to still do the research properly to get it done. And now government is giving you for net metering, so you'll be incentivized by using solar energy. This is solar PV. Another part of the solar energy they call solar thermal. Now solar PV, what happens is, and solar thermal, they say whenever only sun is there, we can get it. For some reason, if you do not have sun rays coming, then we don't get it. But solar thermal, we can store it also, because the heat energy. Heat energy comes back to normal thermal power station. You can use the steam and you can get a regular electricity. I think one of my friends, Mr. Engineer Deepak Ghadia, I understand he may have visited your college, or you may have heard about him. He is a very, very fond of this technology, and he is working on the research wherein the size of this can be reduced. Once you reduce the size, it becomes cost effective, and you can generate electricity regularly because the thermal energy can be stored. Like what you see in here, batteries here also can be stored. So these are the two areas. There is still need for doing research. The students should take research project on these, both of them, improve something, okay? And if at all, then we are talking about using the electric vehicles, then if it is charged through your solarized electricity, solar power plants, as shown over here, then there is a synergy. Then there is a synergy between clean energy and clean usage. But if you are going to power this one only using coal-fired power station, then you are only shifting pollution. And I have shown you that pollutions can come back to you as it is happening in many cities. So is there a scope for hope, or am I talking pipe dream? You must have heard about wind energy also. Okay, wind energy, yes, big wind energy farms, they can be used. It can generate electricity, but there is also scope for doing research and development in micro wind turbines and generators. It means you can design in a very different way the wind turbines and generators. and maybe mounting over here. And whenever they say what they want, whenever the vehicles are passing through, there is a generation of some velocity. That velocity can turn it around and generate some electricity. So even wherever possible, a micro turbine, because they can work on the low velocity. The bigger ones require high velocity of the wind. This one can take on low velocity. So there is again, this is a tremendous scope for this one to do as a research and development project, student project. Now you must have about another type of renewable energy, the what hydropower. I'm not talking about the big one, big dams are there. There are some problems about it. Wherever possible, they may be there also. But now there is a scope for go for what we call a pico hydro, small scale one, pico hydro, 200 watt, 500 watt, small micro hydro, pico hydro generating systems, which can be used if there is a waterfall nearby. It can be used there. Okay. So, and if we use this in large numbers, it can start producing electricity that is needed for whatever development we wanted. So pico hydro, this is another area students and faculty members can take up for doing research. Okay, again, all the projects I'm telling you are multidisciplinary projects. Here, water resource engineering, civil engineering, and electric engineering, and the propeller means mechanical engineering, all three can come together and make a multidisciplinary project. Now, what is it that is abundant in the world? Okay. Just now we have seen one of the slides. Yes, human energy, 7 billion people more. Yes, lot of waste we are generating, waste energy. And there is no shortage of spiritual energy. Remember I asked you a question, whom am I? Kaun whom I? Urja, okay, Urja. Human energy, okay, let us take about human energy, which is abundant in India also, and Asia and other parts of the world. But how we use it? Let me share with you one statistics. What they call diabetic tsunami. Globally, according to World Health Organization, around 420 million adults are diabetic. And all of us know the consequences of the diabetics. It's not good for our health. Yes, it depends on lifestyle and other things. But one of the important things they say is our lifestyle. And all of you know that we have got sugarcane here, which can be used to convert into sugar, which is used most of the time now. And उसके बाद कुछ मीठा हो जाए. I think in India we have got any festival comes मीठा हो जाए, कुछ मीठा खिलाइए. And as a result, all of us are becoming more and more. So we are becoming like world's diabetic capital. The question arises now for us: should we use this sugar cane to convert into sugar, or sugar mills transform into ethanol mills, biodiesel and biogas? Simple choice. A, sugar, B, biogas, ethanol or biodiesel. By this simple choice only, we can move from unsustainable to sustainable. Earlier also I mentioned to you, okay, unsustainable to sustainable. Then we mentioned there is a lot of waste energy. Okay, globally, big cities have got bigger problems, and we are seeing it. Then what they are many places they have to burn it somewhere. And then which can cause a pollution, and then later on you complain about it, and it has got other health effects. What can be done about it? Well, now there is a process available. Now, this is coming from another field. Okay, this is again combination of chemical, mechanical, electrical, instrumentation, all can come together to design this kind of project. Reason being, at present is expensive. That is why we at the engineering colleges, we need to do more research in this one and make the cost lower. Bio-waste to energy. So whatever the bio-waste is collected, pumped, then through biofertilizers, can be sent somewhere. You have got digesters one here. They will transform this, whatever the bio-waste, into gas. The gas is collected here. That gas can go to combined heat and power unit, generate electricity, sent to the grid. The process heat can also be used for district heating or district cooling, both district, they call district heating and district cooling. Some part of the compost is used for other fertilizer purpose. And from here also the district heating, district cooling is sent to cities. And if there is a power plant there, you can also generate electricity. Yes, because of this process is very much engineering process, but it is expensive now. Now, how we can do the research to reduce the process cost, okay, and make it more affordable. So I would encourage faculty members and students to take projects in this one, because to reduce the size, make it more affordable. Now, once all these renewables are coming into system, what they say is, IEEE says we need now microgrids, okay, to manage it properly. Because now all of them are coming at different time. They are not coming continuously like coal-fired or oil-fired or gas-fired power stations. They're coming at different time, different places, and therefore we need a proper management also, okay? Now they are working on hybrid AC DC microgrids, which will consist of your compressed air, batteries, your solar PV, okay, wind, okay, even the electric vehicles, you charge it, and when they discharge, you can use it. And for household purposes, maybe DC grid. So you have got integrator here, integration here. So you have got DC will go to DC application, AC will go to AC applications. And you have got even power electronics here also. So all of them can come together. This is again multidisciplinary project. IEEE has given this direction. And those who are from computer and other area, they like it. Even AI can be used. Artificial intelligence, data analytics can be used here also, because there will be huge amount of data required. And they need to be monitored and controlled. And that is the vision IEEE is now coming up with the standards on microgrid, okay? And how to use hybrid AC DC. So is there a scope for hope, or am I talking pipe dream? Okay, type in the chat box, is there scope for hope, or am I talking pipe dream? Now, future possibilities, what they are now discussing about hydrogen economy, hydrogen energy. Due to some reasons, it is still not that preferred, but principle is very simple, okay? Instead of any other electrolyte, if you use hydrogen, you've got catalyst, okay, catalyst here. Hydrogen passes through this one, through anode and cathode, and generates electricity. And what they have found is byproduct output is only water. So you get electricity and water also. And whatever excess hydrogen comes out, that can be reused for other purposes. Now this is the principle, what they call fuel cell. And obviously we'll be needing more of them. At present is again expensive. It is expensive. More research is needed. But if this is used, then we can get zero emission hydrogen fuel vehicles, another green vehicles. One is we have got electric vehicle, another is got at zero emission hydrogen fuel vehicle. This is also a multidisciplinary project. Now, if you are bringing your students all the way from small towns to your campus, and you're using the contractors' vehicles or vehicle buses, or you may be having your own buses, maybe you can experiment one, change at least one of them into zero emission bus. This is a good project to do, multidisciplinary project, okay, for the campus. Clean campus we talk about, clean and green campus we talk about. This is the vision. All those who are in this field are proposing how we can transit from the fossilized energy, which is a polluting one, to the clean and renewable energy, which is not only going to reduce our greenhouse gas emission, also going to reduce pollution. And this is what we are looking for. This is the vision, supported by United Nations. So now we have been discussing this for the last 15-20 years. We at Edu Energy Singapore will be very happy to help anyone who is interested in sustainable energy development at various aspects, even innovative student project and management, and how it can be brought into our curriculum also. Rethinking teaching, learning, academic leadership, and how we can transform education. And because of the transforming education system, I think I got opportunity to meet your principal, Professor Rio, at the Hyderabad conference, and also got associated with the IUCEE. We are already conducting clean and green course there, clean and green campus course there. Almost we have finished one round, and in future we will do more. We want to come and also help faculty members to do it more. Okay. And IEEE is in forefront of that. And we at Edu Energy are fully supportive of that. Now, for my friends, if you want to connect with me, yes, you can connect on the LinkedIn. I'm almost reaching 30,000 members. So probably if I am not able to accept you, then you have to just follow me there. There I have been sharing my views on various topics. So what sustainable and clean energy innovations can bring? First is, as I mentioned, this is still we need to do R&D, research and development, and create sustainable solutions in various forms, okay, at various levels. You can have your business here, okay, the renewable, green jobs are here. Enhance productivity and competitiveness of the businesses, because once you reduce energy consumption, your competitiveness goes up. It's a saving. Is Make in India, Digital India, Smart City, and Self-Reliant Vision feasible? Without quality, secure, and reliable availability of clean and renewable energy? Do you think? Is it possible, feasible? Put in chat box, okay. Now, 10-15 years back, when we used to give webinars on this, seminars on this one, we had to convince them. But now we have got top marketeers, okay? Earlier, former President Obama, then our Prime Minister Modi ji, and just recently retired Prime Minister from Japan. They used to now say at that time, they are big marketeers. They say more prosperous future of our nations mean making investment in energy efficiency and clean and renewable energy today. Today. My friends, if you have joined this webinar, you are making your investment into it. Time is also important investment. And whatever knowledge you have got now through this webinar and by other webinars and seminars and reading and research, please use it. Very quickly about Singapore is a small, densely populated city. Case study. Around 4 hours from Mangalore by plane. High population density. Okay, we have got high-rise buildings, highly industrialized economy, dependent on only imported fossil fuels. Lack of natural resources and renewable energy sources. There is not much here. Though we are on the tropical, but there are some challenges I will tell you about. Our energy, Singapore energy resources, still 99% fossil fuels. But what happened is, systematically last 10-15 years, Singapore moved from first coal to fuel oil to natural gas. 97% of now electricity is generated using natural gas. I mean, obviously, natural gas is less polluting compared to oil and coal, but it can still generate greenhouse gases, and therefore we need more penetration of renewables. Singapore using biomass, the one I mentioned to you, Singapore is already using it. It is expensive, but still you have to invest in it. Solar thermal, some challenges here because we are on tropical here. Diffusion rate is high. Same as the photovoltaic, but now all new buildings, it is mandatory to have solarized power, okay, for their corridors and other parts. We have got now demonstrations happening in some towns in Singapore where the whole building is energized using renewable energies. In 2 years' time, Singapore wants to move for all the roofs, they call all rooftop solarized, okay? Wherever rooftops are there, put solar cells. Electric vehicles are coming to Singapore. Charging stations have been put up. There is a incentive to buy green vehicles, less polluting vehicles. Euro 6 standards are implemented. Singapore is also going for carbon tax. It has been delayed because of this pandemic, but it is going to come. Carbon tax is coming in Singapore also. So this is how Singapore is moving towards the clean and green. And Singapore has now taken a mission to become zero waste city in gardens. And whatever I mentioned now is as per the United Nations Sustainable Goals. Okay? Clean energy, energy efficiency, renewable energy is part of it. Part of it. If you do on these 3 main topics, research, okay, energy efficiency, clean energy, and renewable energy. You are already part of United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. It can create green jobs. It can reduce health problems. Less pollution means less health problem. Presently, we are investing more in health, solving our health problem, creating the more health problem by using polluting type of energies. That can change. Again, more than 10-15 years back, I wrote this composition. I'm talking here, I mentioned about clean and green, keep our planet clean and green. Okay, only I'm sharing a couple of stanzas here. One of them is says, obviously generation of waste we have to trim, make it zero if possible, switch off excessive lights or make them dim. So whatever excess you are using it, let us reuse and recycle every single rim to keep our planet clean and green. Depleting ozone layer is damaging our skin. Global warming situation is extremely green, not green, okay, green. Let us use energy resources that are efficient and clean to keep our Planet Clean and Green. That is where we have started Clean and Green Campus. Now, Clean and Green Campus, I am talking about the Clean and Green Campus learning spaces. And learning spaces means whatever I mentioned over here, we make them student project, we make them research project, we make them actual projects. Okay, all of them. Clean and Green Campus learning spaces, enhance, not only putting one thing. Okay, all over your campus. And I'm very supportive of the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. If you are doing it well and good, continue doing that one. Make it clean and green. And I'm sure many projects can be funded through this also. If you are proposing something, we can enhance the clean and green campus or surroundings. Clean and green village, clean and green town, clean and green city. That is going to be supported by such kind of initiatives. So I fully support this kind of movement. जाएगा ये अंधेरा, आएगा नया सवेरा. The dark clouds are going to go, and the new horizon, golden rays are going to come. फिर झूम उठेगा एक ही नारा. Then only one, okay, slogan will rhyme. झूम उठेगा एक ही नारा. Only one slogan will rhyme. Okay. What is that? What is that? What do you think that will be? Okay. The dark clouds will eventually go. The golden rays will shine and glow. Then there will be only one slogan that will emerge. That is, Swachh Urja se hara bhara ho jag sara. Let our whole planet be clean and green, okay, fulfilled with the clean and green energy, renewable energy. That is the vision I am proposing. And I invite each one of you to join this movement. Make your surrounding clean and green. Make your campus clean and green. Make everywhere possible use of clean and green energy. It is doable one. I acknowledge whatever I could share because of the various experts coming from International Energy Foundation, International Energy Agency, World Energy Council, even United Nations, IEEE, Institute of Engineers India, Google Images, and now most importantly, St. Joseph Engineering College, who has invited me to share with you. IEEE Mangalore subsection. Thank you for inviting me. And IEEE Education Society Singapore chapter for making it happen. I wish you sustainable, clean, innovative, energetic, smart, and secure future. Together, we can make it happen. Together, we can make it happen. Put in your chat box. Yes, we can. Okay, put in chat box. Yes, we can. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to share my views in this given short period. And I hope I have put everything in perspective in a given time. If you want to ask me more questions, I'll be very happy to delighted to interact with you. We're calling it Akshay Urja Gyan Yagya. So now you have sacrificed time. I'm all the way from Singapore. There, all of us together have done some yagya. This is the yagya or Akshay Urja. Okay, renewable energy, knowledge. And I'm sure with this yagya, there's something which will emerge out that will be useful to everyone. Once again, congratulations to each one of you making this that investment today with me, and gratitude and thanks to the organizers, as I mentioned to you, especially Professor Rio and his team, Professor Fernandez, IEEE subsection section chair, UC Niranjan ji, Ashwini ji, everybody who has made this happen. And also I would like to convey our special appreciation from our chair from IEEE Education Society, Professor Tan. I do not know whether he has joined because he was also in the meeting. So if he has joined, you can ask him. Otherwise, let us take questions.
Thank you, sir. Now session is open for discussion. If you have any questions, put in chat box or question and answer. You see Niranjan, sir, if you have any questions.
Panelists can also give comments, okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Noel,
Yeah,
you can ask directly question because you are a panelist. You can ask directly question, not required to put in a chat box.
Or give comments also. That's okay.
Yes. We have
Okay,
some
no.
questions. We have some questions from our students. They have asked, can India produce enough of ethanol to be used as a mix with petrol fuel throughout the country? What is the economic benefit of such a move? This is from one of our students. This question is from one of our students.
Okay. So shall I answer that first, or is there any other question similar to that?
No, sir, you can answer to that.
Okay, coming to ethanol. Okay, now what happens is, if you really look at it, there is one country, global. I say I'm going to share with the global arena. India, probably you've got experts from in India who can tell you more about it. There is one country called Brazil. Okay, Brazil has got use of this converting sugar cane into ethanol, and they have got ethanol economy. Okay, now what happens? Ethanol is less polluting than diesel, okay, or petrol. That is the only thing. So that is what they do is, so in our India, what they are offered is around up to 10% of blending. You have to blend it properly. Okay, blend means you have to properly mix it. You need a special arrangement for that. You have to blend with the current fuel, which is petrol or diesel. And when you do that one, what are the advantages? One, why you want to blend it? Because ethanol generates less pollution or less greenhouse gases, you can say, compared to diesel or petrol. Depends on the percentage you want to go into. Okay, presently, I think Indian government has increased maybe for up to 10% or something. But other countries also have given 10 to 15% blending, because you need to appropriately modify your engine to take this kind of fuel. And if you want to go for 100% ethanol, that is what Brazil has done it. They have supported the rural economy because farmers can now use it. Not only that, they have even designed new vehicles like your motorbike, which is fully using ethanol. Now, cost-wise, initial cost is a little higher because you are going to get new technology there comparatively. Initial cost is going to be higher initially, but it is comparable. It is comparable. One part. Two, only because of this COVID, the oil prices have gone down globally. They collapsed. They went to negative. Okay? This is an exceptional case. But if you look at before that, before whatever the crisis came in, oil prices were going higher and higher. That means our import, if you're those countries which import oil and petrol and diesel, they have to pay foreign exchange. Their import cost goes up. It affects their economy. And if they are able to use ethanol, depending on the percentage you use it, your import is reduced. Okay? So though the initial cost of the ethanol production is high, but it will be compensated because you are not importing now. You are increasing your security. You have to think about that way. Okay, don't just think about the money saved now. Think about life cycle cost, they call it. Okay, you become less reliant on the external energy. So why they want to go for this mix? That is why they go for mix. Means entirely, if you want to go, that is also can be done, but they go for mix. Reason is, this way you can reduce reliance on an import. That itself can become help for energy security. So if you consider that kind of cost, then it is worthwhile going. But if you're only trying to compare with ethanol, with the diesel and petrol, well, if the prices are high, definitely ethanol will be more affordable. Prices are low, you will find, oh, ethanol is more expensive now. Shouldn't go for that. You have to use appropriate combination, energy mix, we call it, appropriate combination, and deciding what kind of energy mix a nation needs it. That will give you long-term benefit. Okay?
Sir, we have another interesting question from one of our participants. Will carbon capture and storage and carbon sequestration technologies be a silver bullet to the climate change problem? What is your opinion?
Carbon capture and storage technology is at present expensive. Take it away. Now there are some experiments, because what happens is this CCS, CTL and CCS, clean coal technology, and CCS, carbon capture and storage. If you rely on the technology coming from the America, Europe, Canada, or Australia, is going to be expensive one. But if India decides with appropriate, that is what Atmanirbharta, self-reliance, decide to now make a research in this one and reduce the cost. One of our friend Deepak Gadiyarji, they have shown by experiment, a small scale one in India, it is possible to develop carbon capture and storage, a small plant at a lower cost. It's possible. But depending on the import, cost will be high. So we recommend now at this stage, time has come to do the research. That is where all, I will say, all engineering colleges, institute, whosoever feels they have got expertise in this area, try to do research, come out with a better product and service.
Sir, another question. What technologies do you suggest to reduce 20 to 30 years old legacy landfill wastes?
Okay, now I think probably you have whosoever asked question that has he or she missed out the slides I mentioned about the bio to bio. I think, let me show you that slide one more time. My slides are still there, correct?
Yes, sir.
Are my slides are still there?
Yes, it's there.
Okay. One technology I mentioned. This is the what they talk about. Now this is where, okay. Yes, now because if you want to dump all waste there, then obviously then you're going to face problem there. Now, bio to waste. How you want to convert that waste into energy? And as I mentioned, it is a chemical process. It is a digesters are needed. Sometimes it is not that what you call economically viable, but then you weigh the two things. Shall I keep that like that and keep on dumping it, or use the technology, start reducing it? Because there are many side effects of just keeping those landfill with the garbage. I think we have heard about it. This is one of the ways. This is the technologies available now. Okay, many of them are going for this one, as I mentioned to you. One here. Many of them are going for incineration plants. Okay, incineration plants means you just take out from there and dump it and burn it. Incineration plants, there are still studies going on whether the emissions are completely free from whatever call pollution. If you are able to get that one, then this technology is also good. Presently, it is being used in many countries. Okay, where in Singapore has got landfill problem, so 90% of waste is burned here and then converted into electricity. And whatever happens, so the waste burned here. Now, once it becomes ash, it becomes size is reduced. Then you have to manage with the 10%. Now they are working on how to even get rid of that 10% also. Okay. So landfill generate biogas and generate electricity from that. Or if you want to get rid of it, put it in the incineration.
Sir, we have another pretty long question. Do you think that hydrogen fuel cells are a very costly alternative for India? Can it be a real groundbreaking solution for transportation to all the transportation issues in our country?
Okay, again, as I was discussing about a global arena, you have got Indian experts. Indian experts can tell you about more about it. But what I can tell you about, because this is a hydrogen economy is coming. Only it is going to take time. Okay, so how you want to use it? That is a question. Fuel cell at present is expensive. That is I mentioned to you. This is the one we have to do the more research. All of us should be doing more research in this one and trying to make it happen. One part. And how the hydrogen is generated, that is another question comes in. Okay, that has been debated. Many of them are using hydrocarbons to generate hydrogen, but that is not the proper way, because then it is again going to create the problem of pollution. So at present they are expensive, but if you add the cost, now what they say is, example, carbon tax is added. Once carbon tax is added, you have to use either Euro 6, or by 2040 you have not been allowed to use the petrol or diesel. Then how are you going to do it? By that time, obviously this technology would have improved much better. Cost would have gone down and it will be used. So I would say use appropriate combination. So even in zero emission hydrogen fuel ones, fuel cell is the one part. Okay, you can use other parts also, other cleaner fuels there also. So yes, there are many researchers who are saying future is of the hydrogen economy. If that happens, well and good. If we are able to, how we can control the LPG and the petrol and diesel, and we can manage whatever the accidents in a controlled way, safety is the one of the major concerns. We can do that one. Then hydrogen fuel can become alternative to whatever we are doing it. But for that purpose, again, I will go back to my same statement: more research, get it done at an affordable cost. And I think if we in India can do it, that will be better also, because we have capability which has been proven in terms of satellite technology, space technology. I think ISRO is one of the good examples. Once our Indian scientists have done this one, they have reduced the cost of those satellite launching system by almost 70% down, with almost same output, equivalent output. And that is where we need to start doing one. Yes. At present is expensive, I can tell you that.
Yes, sir. That ends the questions. These were the questions given out by our panel participants.
Thank you for those questions. I really appreciate. If they are coming from students, I'm very happy to know that. But doesn't matter, even they have come from the professors and other engineers. Thank you for those interesting questions.
Thank you, sir. That wonderful informative information given. Of course, we'll go forward with this sustainable technology, sustainable things. I'll thank from our SC St. Joseph Engineering College management faculties and IEEE chapter also. Thank you for presenting and giving your valuable times and sharing your information, sharing your experience to us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much from my side also. I really appreciate giving me opportunity to share with you my views and interact with those who have asked very interesting questions. And they are futuristic in nature, obviously. And I look forward to interacting with IEEE community, interacting with the students from St. Joseph Engineering College and faculty members and your principal. If he's still around or he has to go somewhere.
So for participants, we'll share the link where you are required to fill it. For participant, link is shared. Please go and fill the link so that we can inform improve our upcoming webinars, upcoming whatever the activities we are conducting. Thank you for listening. You can give the feedback in the link provided in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you, sir, once again.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a wonderful session.